I'm Christy and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm here with some Nanny romance recs. Alright, so I'm here today to talk about 15 single parent and nanny romances. Majority of these, I think all but one, are going to be single dad and nanny, which is one of my favorite tropes. There's been a few releases recently that have single dad and nanny, so that's what made me want to do a new version of this video today with some new recs. I actually did some nanny romance recs about 2 years ago, and so I'll link that video below because I think there's only maybe like 4 of those that I'm going to repeat in this video because they're just like all-time favorites, but otherwise I'm not going to talk about the books that I recommended there. So definitely go check out that recommendation video as well. It has like 15 more. Some of them are historical romances, so definitely check that out. But otherwise, I'm here today to chat about 15 new single dad and nanny romance recs. Some of these, like, they were recent releases, which is what made me want to do this video, and so I can't wait to get into them. As always, I'm going to have every book and author linked below, so if you miss any and want to go back and see what I was talking about, grab the book for yourself. They're all going to be linked below in the description, as well as my Goodreads, which is of course where I always review every book that I read. So if you want even more info on any of these books, they're all linked below. The description has all the info for you. So let's get into it. All right, first up, which is a newer release. So this is The Strawberry Patch Pancake House by Lori Gilmore. This is book 4 in her Dream Harbor series, which is a very cozy small town romance series. So this is Single Dad and Nanny, where the hero in here is a renowned chef. He's living in Paris when the story starts, and he gets a call at the beginning of the story telling him about this daughter that he never even knew existed. And so basically her mother has passed away, and so the hero has to come to this small town to meet his daughter for the first time, get to know her, and decides to take care of her. So you see in here how the hero definitely needs a lot of help. He is new to the small town, takes over this restaurant, and then he also is having to deal with being a parent for the first time and take care of his daughter. And so the heroine in here, she lives in the small town, and I think like the mayor or something recommends her to be the hero's live-in nanny, and it kind of goes from there. And this one was just so cute and so fun. If you want like those cozy kind of like Gilmore Girls style vibes of like a small town with all these like little businesses, this series is definitely that. All right, and then another one that is a new release is The Nanny is Off Limits by QB Tyler. This is another one I read recently that made me want to do this recommendation video. I've read all of QB Tyler's romances, and I feel like she does like an equal balance of sometimes they're just steamy, smutty, all those fun things, and then other times she'll put like this emotional balance in there with the steam and smut, and so that is definitely the case with this book. In this one, the hero is the single father to 3 children, and his ex-wife, the mother of his children, has recently passed away when the story starts. And so even though the hero and his ex were not together, it definitely affects his children and of course affects him as well for their co-parenting. And so he needs some help when the story starts. And so the heroine is a college student, and she is at a grocery store and runs into the hero's brother, who is there with one of the hero's children. And he basically ends up talking to the heroine and is like, hey, have you ever done nannying, and could you work for my brother? And so you find out that the heroine has looked after some children in her past, and so she's like, yeah, I could totally help out. And so it goes from there with her and the hero meeting. Of course, they have like very instant connection, but they don't want to like cross the boundaries because of the fact that she lives with him and she is taking care of his children. And it goes from there. I loved the emotional elements in this one and how the heroine really becomes a part of the hero and his children's lives and how she is with his children as well. It was just so fun to see. I highly recommend. This is actually my second new favorite QB Tyler book. Next up is Lost and Lassoed by Lila Sage. So this is the 3rd book in her Rebel Blue Ranch series. This is a complete small town series that is finished now, and this one is definitely probably my favorite in the series. This one, on top of being single dad nanny, it is a small town, hate to love, best friend's brother, age gap romance with Grumpy Sunshine as well. So in this one, like I mentioned, the heroine is best friends with the hero's sister, and so you see how they have all been a part of one another's lives for years. So there is a lot of history between them, and like I mentioned, the hero and the heroine kind of hate each other when the story starts, which of course you see play out in the story. In this one, the heroine is working for this really cool clothing boutique when the story starts. She loves her job, and her boss actually decides to close the business down for personal reasons. And so the heroine's like, oh my god, like I need a new job. So the same day she ends up getting a call from her best friend and is like, hey, my brother, he's stuck on the ranch and nobody else is in town close enough to pick up his daughter from a soccer practice. Can you go pick her up? Because you know her, you're a friend of the family. And so the heroine's like, yeah, no worries, I can go pick her up. So she goes to pick her up and takes her back to her house. And when the hero shows up, he's like, oh my god, why are you here? So first the hero's a little bit annoyed, but then his family ends up talking him in to hiring the heroine as his live-in nanny because they're like, listen, you need help. She needs a job. This would be perfect. She already knows your daughter. They get along. Like, just hire her. And so that ends up happening, and it goes from there. So the hero in here, like I mentioned, he works on his family's ranch. So it has that kind of like cowboy, small town vibe. This one was just a lot of fun. I loved their shared history and just this small town ranch setting. And here the heroine has really been kind of struggling with everybody in her life, her friends, even her father. Everybody's like coupling up around her. And so she really doesn't feel like she has a place or her own person. And so it was so fun seeing her fit into the hero and his daughter's life. And it goes from there. So this is Lost and Lassoed. Highly recommend. All right, next up is Church Girl by Naima Simone. And this is a newer release from this author. I think it just came out last fall. This is really on the shorter side. And this one's very much like opposites attract, single dad and nanny. So this one starts off and the heroine is actually a runaway bride. So she takes off from her own wedding and she is a preacher's daughter and she's just very much tired of everybody else, like her family, telling her what to do with her life. And she's like, you know what? I want to be an artist. I want to move to Chicago. She lives down in the South. So she's like, you know what? No, I'm leaving my wedding. She takes off and she moves. So we see the heroine move from Atlanta to Chicago for art school. And when she gets there, she needs a job as well. So she ends up going to this interview with the hero to be a nanny for his daughter. And the hero is definitely kind of not into her at first. So the hero's like, you're not going to fit into my life. You are very prim and proper. So no, thank you. So he sends her on her way. And then some things happen with some other nannies he has lined up. And so he's kind of left in a lurch and needs help. So he ends up calling back the heroine and is like, hey, could you actually fill in temporarily and we'll see how it goes, because he's super desperate. So it ends up going from there. Like I said, very opposites attract. This one's very spicy. We have like some family drama with the heroine, of course, and then with the hero as well. He has some drama with his ex. It's on the shorter side. So yeah, Church Girl by Naima Simone. Then we have Chase Our Forever by Kat Singleton. This is actually part of her Sutton Mountain small town series. This author usually writes billionaire romances, but her small town series is so much fun, very underrated. So I highly recommend checking it out. So like I mentioned, this one's small town. We have single dad nanny. It's grumpy sunshine, age gap, very much slow burn. So in here, the heroine is actually trying to move on with her life and she is deciding where she's going to live, what she's going to do with her life. So she's traveling and she ends up stopping in this small town. So she's just planning on passing through town. She stops at a local like coffee shop, and when she's there, she ends up meeting the very frazzled hero and his young daughter. And so she finds out that he actually needs a nanny. And so she was just supposed to be passing through town, but she ends up working for the hero as his live-in nanny. It goes from there. This very much has found family vibes. Like I mentioned, the heroine has always been looking after herself, taking care of herself since she was really young. And so it was fun seeing her have this found family situation with all of the friends in town, and the hero and his daughter is just so cute and sweet. Kat Singleton always has heroes who are just obsessed with their heroines, and I love to see it. This one's so sweet, slow burn, small town. Definitely check out Chase Our Forever by Kat Singleton. Next up is Learn Your Lesson by Candy Steiner. So this is part of her Kings of the Ice hockey romance series, and I feel like a lot of these single dad and nanny go hand in hand with Grumpy Sunshine, because this is another one that is a Grumpy Sunshine romance as well. This one was really fun. This is actually Candy Steiner's first single dad romance, which I loved so much. I've been reading her books for years. The hero in this one is a single dad to his daughter, and his whole team like affectionately calls him Daddy P as well, because he kind of takes care of all of them, as well as of course being a single dad to his daughter. So the hero in this one, he actually lost his wife when his daughter was young, and so he is a widower and he just kind of needs help with finding a nanny. He can never find one who will stay. He's very picky with who can take care of his daughter and who can fit in with his lifestyle. So the heroine in this one is the kindergarten teacher to his daughter, and so she has to fill in one time, helps him out, and so he's like, ooh, this would actually be perfect. Could you be the replacement for my nanny situation? So it kind of goes from there. I liked how the heroine in here, she is a romantic. She loves reading romance books and has always dreamed of her own like happily ever after. And so she just kind of like easily fits in with the hero and his daughter's life. And I just thought it was so cute. We have like some no strings attached hookup situation, some spicy lessons. This one's a lot of fun. So definitely check it out if you want a hockey romance, single dad nanny. Next is If You Give a Single Dad a Nanny by Anne Einerson. So this is one of her Aspen Grove small town romances. This author's books are always just so much fun, and they always deliver on the tropes and the vibes that you want. This is another Grumpy Sunshine, age gap, and small town. This one is a lot of fun. The heroine in here is an artist, and she ends up moving in next door to the hero and his daughter. So they end up meeting at the beginning of the story because the heroine's dog ends up breaking out of her yard and going into the hero's yard, who the hero's daughter ends up falling in love with the heroine's dog, and of course with the heroine as well. And so it kind of goes from there with her asking the heroine if she can become her new nanny. This was just really sweet and fun. I like the close proximity with them being neighbors. There's some caretaking in here, and it's just really cute and fun. Love the whole found family vibe for this one as well. So definitely check out If You Give a Single Dad a Nanny by Anne Einerson. Next is Ashes of You by Catherine Cowles. So this is the last book in her Lost and Found series. I am obsessed with Catherine Cowles' romances. her small town romantic suspense books always hit for me, and this one is one of my favorites in the series. This one is age gap. We have a very much a slow burn romance, which I love. It's one of my favorite slow burns. So the heroine in here is new to town looking for a nanny job, and then the hero is the chief of police of town, and so she ends up working for him for his 3 sons who he needs a nanny for. In here, you realize that the hero and the heroine have a little bit of history from their past, which is explored in the story as well. And then it just goes from there with the heroine having to take care of the hero's sons and really become a part of their family. I loved in here how his sons were equally as protective of the heroine that the hero is because of some things in her past. Like I said, it's just slow burn done right. It's so good. Highly recommend. The romantic suspense elements that come into play are so good, and I just love the overall like caretaking and them really becoming this family unit together. So good. If you love protective vibes, highly recommend. Ashes of You by Catherine Cowles. Next up is Caught Up by Liz Tom 40. So this is part of her Windy City series. This is a special edition cover, which I think is so stinking cute. So the whole series is a sports romance series. So in here, the hero is a baseball player, and this is a single dad nanny romance where the heroine in here is actually also his coach's daughter who ends up needing a job, and so she starts to work for the hero and is taking care of his son. The heroine in this one as well, she is a pastry chef who recently like won some awards, and she's starting to struggle with coming up with new ideas of things to make, and just like her creativity isn't really there, and so she decides, you know what, I need a little bit of a break, and so she ends up coming to see her father, who like I mentioned is the coach of the hero's team. And when she's there, the hero's teammates end up talking her into becoming the nanny for the hero because the hero has gone through like 5 nannies. He can never find one that he thinks is good enough to look after his son, and so it goes from there. I love the whole found family vibes in this one, not just with the hero and the heroine, but with the hero, his whole team, and the heroine as well. It's just so much fun. If you want baseball with single dad nanny, definitely check out Caught Up by Liz Tom 40. Next up is The Nanny by Lana Ferguson. So this one was so much fun. I read it a couple summers ago when it came out, and I love this one to pieces. I feel like the audiobook was so much fun. So in here, the hero ends up hiring the heroine to be the nanny for his daughter. So you see in here how the heroine starts to work for the hero. He's a busy executive chef, and so he's always like very busy with his work and needs somebody to look after his daughter. And so in here as well, the heroine actually used to have an OnlyFans account, and the hero was actually her favorite watcher slash top watcher who would always watch her videos. So it has kind of this like secret hidden identity trope to it because neither realizes who one another is at first. The heroine had always worn like masks and wigs when she did her videos, and the hero never had his camera on, so neither realized that at first. And so the tension of just knowing that, reading their interactions is so good. Highly recommend. I love this one. It definitely took me by surprise a couple summers ago when I read it. So yeah, definitely check out The Nanny by Lana Ferguson. Next up is A Nordic King by Karina Halley. This is another special edition cover that is so stinking pretty. So this one is one that I've read years ago and really enjoyed it. Karina Halley writes so many different subgenres of romance, which I love about her. But this is a contemporary romance with royals. So in here, the hero is actually the King of Denmark. He's a widower and he needs somebody to look after his 2 young daughters. And so the heroine comes into their lives and has to move in and live with them at the castle, and it goes from there. This one is so much fun. It's a standalone. It has that forbidden element and of course that forced proximity with them living together. So much fun. This is one where royal romances don't usually work for me, but this one worked so well. Highly recommend A Nordic King by Karina Halley. All right, next up is Wraith by Rebecca Weatherspoon, another special edition cover that I recently got in that is so stinking pretty. So in this one, the hero is the one who's actually the nanny, and I love it so much. The heroine in here, she's a doctor, she's recently divorced, and she needs somebody to look after her 2 daughters, and so the hero moves in and starts to work for them. This one I just love. I love the mutual attraction these two have towards one another right from the start, and how they're just very open and honest with their communication. I feel like it is done so well. Of course, the spice is good, and I just loved seeing the hero come in and take care of not only the heroine, but her daughters as well. So good. Highly recommend. It's on the shorter side, but it's so much fun. Definitely check it out. Both books in this series from this author are just so good. Next up is Heartless by Elsie Silver. I feel like everybody has read this book, but if you haven't, this is your chance. This is your time to remind you to read it. This is one of my favorite romances. I love it so much. It is the epitome of a grumpy sunshine, a single dad nanny romance. The heroine in here is one of my all-time favorite heroines. So she is in town to spend the summer with her best friend, who is the sister-in-law to the hero of this book. This one is so much fun right from the start when they meet one another. So they run into one another at a coffee shop, and something happens, I think with the heroine's purse. Some of her underwear falls out, and the hero picks it up and is like, excuse me, what? And it goes from there. The heroine in here just has so much fun and sass and attitude, and the banter between these two is so good. Like I mentioned, the hero is grumpy and she's more sunshine, so he is a rancher and and works for his family's ranch. And so he very much has a lot of responsibilities on his shoulders, and of course with his son as well. And I love how the heroine comes into their lives and the hero is used to always being the one to take care of others. And she comes in and is the one to take care of him. And it just goes from there. It's so good. It's spicy. It's steamy. It is emotional. It's so good. One of my all-time favorite romances. Like I mentioned, I'm sure you've already read Heartless, but if you haven't, this is your sign to pick it up. Highly recommend. Next up is Professor Aster by Katerina Mora. So this is another gorgeous special edition. This is one of my favorites from this author. It is in her Off Limits series, which is a very much like forbidden romance series, and it is my favorite in the series. So this is one where the hero and the heroine, it starts off with them meeting, they have a one-night stand, and then years go by and they run into one another again because he's actually her professor and her PhD supervisor, and she also becomes the nanny for his children. So it gets very complicated when it goes from there. They actually don't realize who one another is at first because the hero and the heroine like gave each other nicknames during that one-night stand hookup years ago, so they had no way to find one another again. And so now it's years later and she's in his life, and it goes from there. It's so good. I love the found family aspects in here. The heroine is Indian, so I love seeing how her family's culture and just the dynamics between her family life are included as well. What I loved about this one is not only the hero and the heroine running into one another again and becoming a part of each other's lives, but the heroine's relationship with his children was so fun to see as well. That's one thing I realized I really need in single parent nanny romances is I love the connection, of course, between the hero and the heroine, but I also want to see the nanny become a part of the children's lives as well. And so the children in here definitely played a role in their lives, which I liked. So yeah, definitely recommend checking out Professor Aster by Katerina Mora. So good. Highly recommend. All right, and then the last one of my all-time faves is Elanor and Gay by Brittany C. Cherry. This is one of my favorite romances of all time. It's so emotional, second chance romance. It's so good. The hero and the heroine actually have some history in here, so they knew one another as teenagers, and you get to see that part of the story play out first, with them really becoming a part of one another's lives, really connecting, and then some things end up happening in life that takes them to different places, tears them apart. They aren't able to communicate or find one another for years. And so it's years and years later, and the heroine is going to apply for a nanny position with the hero. So she goes for an interview and realizes who he is. And from there, she realizes how much he has changed. He's actually now a widower and he has his 2 daughters. So the heroine in here is really shocked by how much he has changed and just really wants to bring out the old version of him that she knew years ago. And it goes from there. I love in here how she just seamlessly becomes a part of his and his daughter's lives. And she is really there for his children as well, and seeing her connection with them. Second chance, it's so good. Definitely emotional. Brittany C. Cherry books will always have you in your feels and crying, but it's so good and tender and just sweet. And there's some hardships they have to go through. It's so emotional. Highly recommend Elanor and Gay. All right, so those are all of the single parent nanny romances I have to recommend today. Definitely let me know in the comments if you're going to pick any of these up. If there are any you have to recommend to me, definitely let me know as well. Like I mentioned, I have a whole other recommendation video for this trope as well that I'll link below in the description. So if you want even more, go check that one out too. If you'd rather leave me an emoji in the comments today to let me know that you watched this video, leave me the kissing heart emoji for my shirt today with all these smooches all over it. So do that, the kissing heart emoji. And if you haven't done so yet, make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!